It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers, do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
A very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for finding time to join us today. This is Diaspora Dispatches, where we get to look at the news-making headlines across Africa. And of course, before we get to that, I'd like for us to go through the statistics as they stand this afternoon in regards to COVID-19 across Africa. And we start with Kenya, where confirmed cases right now in the country is at 6,673. The death toll in the country is at 149. Recoveries stands at 2,089. Uganda, the cases right now is at 893. Recoveries is 837. And Zambia, 1,632 cases. 30 people have died. Recoveries is at 1,348. Zimbabwe, 605 cases so far have been confirmed. 7 deaths have occurred, and recoveries is at 166. South Sudan, 2,007. The death toll is 38. 279 people have recovered, and Sudan confirmed cases is at 9,573. The death toll is 602. Recoveries is 4,606. And Ethiopia, 5,846 cases have been confirmed. 103 people have died, and recovery stands at 2,430. And we move to Madagascar, where the cases right now stands at 2,303 cases. 22 people have died. Recoveries is at 1,006. Almost half of the figure there have recovered. So perhaps the COVID organic there is working. I don't know. But we move to Somalia, where the confirmed cases is at 2,924. 90 people have died, and recoveries right now in Somalia is at 932. And the DRC confirmed cases is at 7,122. 175 people have died, and recoveries is at 1,785. And in Guinea, 5,404 cases have been reported. 33 deaths have occurred. Recoveries is at 4,346. And Rwanda, the cases yesterday was at 1,001. Right now it is at 1,042. The death toll is 3. Recoveries is 480. And South Africa, and I believe these figures right now might have gone a bit up. We prepared them a bit earlier today. So South Africa, the cases right now is at 159,333. And the death toll in South Africa is 2,749. Recoveries is 76,025. And Egypt, 69,814. And 3,034 people have recovered and have died. And recoveries is at 18,881. And I might add there that Egypt is leading in the continent in terms of the death rate there. And we go to Botswana, where the cases is at 227. One person has died. Recoveries is 28, and Morocco 12,636 people. The death toll is 228. Recoveries is 9,026, and Mozambique 903 cases have been reported. 6 of those have died, and recoveries is at 248. And we end with Angola, where the cases right now stands at 285. And 84, 13 people have died, and recoveries is at 93, and the total number of cases that have been reported here in the continent is over 400,000 cases there, and the death toll in Africa is over 10,000, and recoveries so far is at 784 cases. And of course, the global statistics right now stands at over 10.8 million people that have been infected worldwide. With the recovery, the death toll there over 500,000, and global recovery stands at 6 million, over 6 million there. So thank you so much. That is the latest in terms of the figures and of COVID-19 here in the continent. So now let's just turn into what else is making headlines across the continent. And please, wherever you're watching us from, if there's anything you feel we need to know, please share on the comment section, and I will read it out for the rest of our viewers, and so we get to know what is happening there. And today we are going to talk about what is happening in Ethiopia. So let me know what you make of the situation. Have you been watching the events that have been unfolding there in Ethiopia? And right now, Abiy Ahmed seems to be, things are getting out of control for him there. So what next there for Ethiopia? So keep writing to me, and then we shall look at that and the rest of the stories that I'm having here for you. We start with Tanzania, where schools in Tanzania reopened after 3 months of closure due to coronavirus. All other levels of schools are now open again, following an earlier reopening of universities and certain high schools at the beginning of June. The government, on the other hand, has issued stringent measures to be followed even as schools are reopening to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus among students. As teachers, this is what the teachers are saying: we are making sure we are following all the guidelines set by our Ministry of Health in ensuring that we are protecting our students. And of course, according to Tanzania's Prime Minister Kassi Kajolika, there were only 66 COVID-19 patients hospitalized in 10 regions across the country 3 weeks ago. And we move to Zimbabwe, where Zimbabwe has suspended trading on the stock exchange as well as all mobile money monetary transactions. Zimbabwe Stock Exchange Chief Executive Officer Justin Bugoni said on Sunday that trading was suspended until further notice. In a statement last week, the government halted these activities with immediate effect, citing criminality and economic sabotage. They blamed the stock exchange for fueling the collapse of the Zimbabwean dollar and housing fake counters. Meanwhile, the decision to suspend mobile payments will hit the economy hard. Mobile money is widely used as a form of payment of goods and services. According to the central bank data, more than 80% of all transactions are conducted on phones due to shortage of banknotes. And we go to Ethiopia, where Ethiopia's Prime Minister now says several people have been killed in an unrest that followed the killing of a popular singer this week. Some reports say over 50 people have been killed. 3 bombs exploded in the capital on Tuesday, and police said it was not clear whether anyone was killed. Angry protests were reported Tuesday in the capital Addis Ababa after Hachalu Hundessa was shot dead on Monday. He had been a prominent voice in the anti-government protest that led to a change in leadership in 2018, with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed taking office. And the killing was a tragedy, Abiy said, and vowing the perpetrators will be brought on justice, and declaring that our enemies will not succeed. And I'll just quote what the Prime Minister there said, that our enemies think they can easily disintegrate us. However, we will use this incident to unify the country and to ensure our plans for peace and security of the country continue. the government will step up its works to realize the peace and stability and sovereignty of the country. I don't know what enemies Mr. Abiy Ahmed here is referring to, but what we know right now is that the funeral is taking place in Ethiopia of the Oromo protest singer Hachalu Hundessa, whose killing, of course, on Monday, as I said, there sparked a series of protests that led to now confirmed death is 80. And of course, pictures on national television show the funeral procession at a stadium in the singer's hometown of Ambo, about 100 kilometers west of the capital, Addis Ababa. And still on matters related to Ethiopia and the dispute between Egypt, Ethiopia and Sudan over Addis Ababa's construction of a gigantic dam on the Blue Nile has reached a new level. The issue is now on the table of the United Nations Security Council at the request of Egypt, supported by the United States. On Monday, Egypt's foreign minister urged the United Nations Security Council to adopt a resolution giving international clout to efforts to resolve the dispute over the hydroelectric dam. According to Sameh Shukri, the construction of the dam endangers the lives of 150 million Egyptians and Sudanese. Shukri said the draft resolution is in line with the outcome of an African Union summit on Friday, where the leaders of Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia agreed to return to talks aimed at reaching an agreement. Now, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, said to be Africa's largest hydroelectric project, has been a source of tension in the Nile basin since Ethiopia's broke ground on it nearly a decade ago. Ethiopia says the project is essential for its development. Addis Ababa has been vocal about its plan to start filling the reservoir in July, which is now. All right, and we move to Burundi, where Burundi's President Evariste Ndayishimiye has awarded a Hero's Medal to the eldest son of former President Pierre Nkurunziza. Lieutenant Kellen Nkurunziza was awarded a national medal by his father's successor during Wednesday's Independence Day celebrations. The younger Nkurunziza was commissioned as an army officer in March by his father to the rank of second lieutenant after he finished commando training in the country. He was subsequently promoted to the rank of lieutenant a day before the July 1st celebrations. The former president died in office last month. And we move to Libya, where France has pulled out of NATO-led anti-smuggling patrols in the Mediterranean, accusing Turkey, a fellow member of the Western Military Alliance, of taking arms to Libya. In a statement, the French Defense Ministry said it was suspending its participation in Operation Sea Guardian to shine a spotlight on anti-trafficking operation of which the smugglers were a part. And it said that regardless of a clash at sea between the Allies' navies last month, the real problem was that Turkey, a NATO member, was repeatedly violating the arms embargo on Libya. Tensions have escalated since Turkish warship prevented a French frigate inspecting a suspected arms cargo aboard a Tanzanian vessel last month. Turkey supports the UN-backed government in Tripoli, while France is seen as a backer of General Khalifa Haftar's rival force. And we go to Nigeria, where Ireland's former President Mary Robinson will lead a panel investigating the leader of the African Development Bank, Akiwumi Adesina. Now, the panel will be reviewing the report of the AFDB Ethics Committee, which cleared Mr. Adesina of corruption accusations in early May. However, pressure for an independent investigation has persisted, with the U.S. rejecting the initial inquiry that cleared him. A 15-page report earlier this year claimed that under his watch, the bank had been marred by poor governance, impunity, personal enrichment, and favoritism. Mr. Adesina has denied all the allegations. Now the inquiry is due to deliver its findings in 2 to 4 weeks. The AFDP plays an important, is largely behind the scenes role in African economies, financing projects in the agriculture, health, energy, education, transport, and other development sectors. And we move to Gabon, where Gabon has suspended issuing visas to European Union travelers after its citizens were included in the EU banned list. Gabonese Foreign Affairs Minister said it had applied the principle of reciprocity. Now, this is so interesting. And the nationals of the 27 EU member states will not be allowed into Gabon. Minister Alain Claude sent a circular to diplomatic missions communicating the change in issuance of visas. Gabon has has recorded 5,394 cases of coronavirus and 42 deaths, and the EU listed only 14 safe countries whose nationals were allowed into member states as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. So Gabon basically is banning all EU members not to set foot in that country, and the government, they're saying it is applying the principle of reciprocity. There. I don't know how that's going to work with Gabon. All right, and we shall talk about that. We move to South Sudan. President Salva Kiir has directed the new governors to immediately move to their respective states and begin disseminating the revitalized peace deal. 7 governors and 3 chief administrators were sworn in before Kiir and his 5 vice presidents in Juba on Wednesday. Those who took the oath of office are governors from Central Eastern Equatoria, Western Equatoria, Northern Bahr el Ghazal, Warab, Unity and Lakes states. They also include the chief administrators for Pibor, Ruweng and Abyei areas. Now, President Kiir cautioned them against excluding the population in the decision-making process. He reminded them not to work on party lines, but use the agreement as a basis for service delivery. Okay. And then we move to Botswana, where Botswana's President Mokwetsi Masisi has quarantined himself after an official working closely with him tested positive for COVID-19, a government statement has said. Some other people in the president's inner circle are also self-quarantining, isolating, and the government encourages people to continue taking precautions in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The country of 2.25 million people has so far recorded 227 cases of the virus and 1 death. And we go to Biafra, where Olusegun Bangbose, the National Coordinator Concerned Advocates for Good Governance, CAGG, has said that he could end the agitation for the sovereign state of Biafra if given the mandate. Bangbose noted that the agitation dated back to 1967 during the Biafran War is still very much alive and shaking the foundation. IPOB is legitimate, being that the group is crying out for marginalization. He noted that the agitation is a product of injustice, illegality, insecurity, bad governance, repression, and dictatorship, adding that it is not out of place if these anomalies are prevalent in societies. And this man here thinks he will be a good replacement of Nnamdi Kanu. For the Biafrans who are watching me, let me know your thoughts on that. And still there in Nigeria, well, an art history professor at Princeton, Chika Okeke Agulu, has said that some artworks that are being sold in Paris were blood of Biafran's children. And in impassioned Instagram post 3 weeks ago, she called for a halt of the sale of 2 wooden statues made by the Igbo people of Nigeria, and believes that the items were looted in the late 1960s during the country's brutal civil war. But the auction went ahead on Mondays at Christie's in Paris, and the sculptures originated from the southeast Nigeria, a region devastated by one of the late 20th century's bloodiest civil conflicts. Biafra's unsuccessful 3-year struggle to gain independence, which ended in 1970, claimed the lives of more than 1 million people, most of whom died of starvation. So we see the art that was done back then by the children of Biafra was being auctioned there, and it really got a lot of money there in Paris, in France. And we end with Ambazonia, and at least a dozen students have tested positive for COVID-19 in Bamenda, the communications unit of Metropolitan Archdiocese of Bamenda has revealed. According to Father Humphrey Tatamboy of the communications unit of the Archdiocese, the students are receiving treatment after testing positive last week. In a statement, the father revealed that the first student from Our Lady of Lourdes College tested positive on June 26th after consulting at the General Hospital in Macnon. This prompted the school's authority to test all the Form 5 and Upper 6 students preparing for the GCE exams, as well as teachers and other workers, while the schools was equally disinfected, he said. Now 6 more students tested positive and were immediately taken to the specialized treatment center where they have been receiving treatment. And it is very interesting that it is the father there that is giving some of these statistics. I'm assuming even in Bamenda there should be some health officials who were mandated to be giving such very important information, but appears, the government is not really focused in that side of the country there. And now the Catholic Church seems to be the one which is taking charge. And we see now the father coming out and issuing a statement about the well-being of the people there, the students there in Ambazonia, in regards to COVID-19. Quite interesting. Do we not have any health officials from that area, or at least the government has assigned to that area to look at the situation in line with COVID-19 and what is really happening? We know a lot of hospitals there and health centers have been banned, others don't really work at all, but still I think during such a time where the whole world is trying to get by with this crisis brought by COVID-19, you would think this would be a good time for the government of Paul Biya to at least make sure there are some health officials there to ensure this COVID-19 is not spreading as much. Awareness is being created in all parts of Cameroon, including that of the Anglophone region, but as it is, that is not the case. And so now the Catholic Church there, we see the father coming out and issuing this very important communication. I do not understand why this would be left to the church. This is supposed to be done by the Ministry of Health, but I think because these officials are not doing their job in these areas, now it forces the church to rise to the position where now it's taking charge and it's trying to show leadership in this God-forsaken area by the Paul Biya's government. So it's just does not make any sense at all. And we go to Biafra, the news I just read here earlier, Olusegun Bangbose, it's quite a tricky name there to say, the national coordinator concerned advocates for good governance, CAGG, is saying, you know what, I could be the right person to take you to the Canaan you guys want to go, called Biafra land. He's saying as much as Nnamdi Kanu is doing a good job, but he thinks that given the mandate, he will do a better job. I don't know what you think about that. He says he could end the agitation for the sovereign state of Biafra if given that mandate. He noted that the agitation, which of course dates back to 1967, we know what happened, but he's saying, the things that Biafrans, the IPOB, is fighting for are quite legitimate. And the things they're crying for and the kind of representation they want, it comes from years of oppression, what he calls insecurity that Biafrans have seen, the illegality that has been imposed on them, bad governance that they have experienced, repression and dictatorship. And he's saying that, given, these anomalies, as he said, which have been very prevalent in Biafra land, so, the people there don't have any other choice but to keep agitating. But now he's saying that he could be the right person to bring you that salvation that you're looking for and to lead you to that land of milk and honey that you're calling Biafra land. And he's saying perhaps Kanu is doing well, but not perhaps good enough to make sure that you realize that dream of having your own country there. I know a lot of Biafrans, you have a lot of support and love for Nnamdi Kanu, but could you consider an alternative here? Somebody's fronting himself and is saying you could be the better alternative, you could be the better person to speak and to continue agitating, for your rights, for, to make sure that you have your dream of self-actualization. So if you can, yes, I'm joined by Doctor. Hi. I see you've just been sitting there smiling. Welcome. All right. I think they will fix let them fix the audio there. All right. Can you put on your microphone, Doctor? No, can you activate please activate the audio part from your side. Okay, so as Doctor, can you hear me? All right, they're fixing that, Doctor. So yeah. Good. He's here. Yeah. Let's talk Biafra. Somebody else is coming out and saying Nnamdi Kanu is doing just great, but I think I'll be the man to take you all the way to the promised land. That is Biafra land. He's telling Biafrans, and I don't know. I can see a lot of Biafrans are writing this afternoon. But Doctor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Miriam, for taking. I was listening. I just wanted to be in the undercover to listen to you. Mm-hmm. Listen. Let's start with the Biafra. Mm-hmm. An enemy weakens you at the end of the tail. An enemy will destroy you. Where is this man coming from? This guy who's saying Nnamdi Kanu is not doing a better job. These are the people who have been sent now by the regime. Buhari has brought him to come to confuse people. This is the time not to think about who should do what and where. You have one leader. Keep going. Some of us are not Nigerians, but we have supported you for almost 4 years. Now, when I hear this type of division, that's why I came back. I was watching. I did not want to get involved in this, but this is not worth it. Keep the struggle. Unite. Even if that one man comes to say he wants to take out Nnamdi Kanu, what is he going to do new which Nnamdi Kanu has not done? The same aspirations, the same goals, the same objective, a republic, a united Biafra to give them independence. And they go. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is saying. There's no way you will solve that problem when over 70 million people are actually marginalized. Out of a population of 200 million, 70 to 80 million people are marginalized. You can't get, there is nothing, that guy is just, they should watch out for such people who are writing now. They are being bought to come to dismember the whole thing. Miriam, that's what my thought is. And you can see for me, I stand original objectives of Nnamdi Kanu and the original objectives of Biafra. I stand to support, I disagree with Buhari on the original objectives. He has refused to give them a referendum to decide their destiny. I cannot have anything else. You just ask them, do they want to be with you? They don't want to be with you. Why are you forcing them? Why are you forcing the Biafran people to stick with you, to stay with you? They are fed up. They are marginalized. They are discriminated in their own country. When they go to the north, they are told to go to the south. Go back home. Where is the home? Is Nigeria not their home? Yet it is their oil which makes Buhari rich. Biafrans don't accept this stupidity of some of these guys who have been paid by Buhari to come and make noise here. Some of us don't need that money. We have principles. That's why we support Biafra. And that is the bottom line. We shall continue to support Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu is our man. Is the one they want to kill. You know, they want to kill him. So now you leave him where? And then you bring another leader so that they kill him, eh? No. He has struggled.
Yes, yeah.
William, you have seen, even his parents died. He's not allowed. He's being hunted by the regime.
Yeah, both.
Now another man is seeing coming. Oh, I want to be this.
He has definitely paid a very huge price, you know, for his beliefs that Biafra land should be its own country. That Biafra land deserves to self-actualize, to have its own independence, and to have its own governance, and to have its own president and its own leadership. So that has come with a huge price tag. And Doctor, you've rightfully mentioned there, both his parents died sometimes back last year. Ethiopia. They were buried in February this year, and he never got an opportunity to go and bury both his parents. So that must be the ultimate price tag for anything. Can you imagine? And so this person is saying, okay, fine, I understand Nnamdi Kanu is doing such a fantastic job, but now I want to take it to another level. And I think he's a lawyer. His name is Olusegun Bangbose, and he's saying, I think I can do an even better job to make sure that we actualize this dream and we have a country called Biafra land. And I see a lot of Biafrans here are writing, and you're not agreeing with this, and you're reading malice to this, and you're saying this could be people who are being used by the regime, as Dr. Matanga there has mentioned. So you don't agree with the sentiments of this person, and I would understand, where that is coming from. So you're saying, a lot of you. Yes, I keep writing. I'll read a few of those comments as we proceed. So he's saying, yes.
Miriam,
yes.
Look, where was he?
All this time.
Where was this man, this so-called good lawyer?
Yes, Olusegun. Not Obasanjo, but...
Where has he hidden? This is a regime paying him to say so. Because he has seen the damage we have done internationally. With the internationally injured Buhari. We are waiting for his time to come, to go. We are going to injure that party of his, to dismantle it.
But the party has already fallen apart. I don't know. It's just some
we want Buhari to completely, we finish him.
The APC party
now
is
paying some mercenaries to come and divide Biafrans, to say, Nnamdi Kanu, we don't want you. Where were you? I am not a Nigerian. Look at this man. But I believe in the Igbo land. I believe that the Igbo people need to determine how they can drill their oil. The Igbo people need to have a benefit of their resource. You have marginalized them too much. You killed them in 1967. You have come to finish the job. That told Buhari has come to finish the job. We know. That's why he has bought daggers to kill them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where is this guy coming from? This guy is now coming to take. You know, one of the things that kills Africans is that we fight so well. We have been from 1986. We used to be in a struggle. But guess what? The government from Kampala came to buy people in London. Give them 50,000 pounds. The money disappears from us. The following day you hear he's issuing a statement in Kampala. So for me, David Matanga, I used to say, God bless you. Everybody who left me in exile, God bless you. If you ask now, how many people are still breathing air? Matanga is breathing air. The rest, the rest died mysteriously.
Mm-hmm. Under mysterious conditions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still here. They left me. I've been in a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
We sit on executive, we arrange. Kumbe, they steal the things and they disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I can mention very many of them. Bwenje, Toko, Otema Alimadi. So many people left. They left us. Besige and Mama Babas were coming to persuade them. Oh, the boss wants to talk to you. The boss wants to talk to you. Where are they now?
The boss is having.
They went ahead to make the maker. Some of us who were called very bad people. You know the word they use on me? Jipingamizi. Very bad.
Pingamizi, that will be an opposer. For
Yes.
those who don't speak Swahili.
That is the name that place they call.
So what you're telling Biafrans this afternoon is to be careful and very cautious about these people who are now coming up after the struggle that Nnamdi Kanu has led, and the huge price tag he has had to pay, nearly by his own life. Remember when he had to flee out of Nigeria there, and now they're coming up and they're saying, you know what, we could be a better replacement, or we could just add into what Nnamdi Kanu has done. Are they trying to build on what Nnamdi Kanu has done and take advantage of the fact that he's not even in Nigeria?
No, this one.
I guess this one is in Nigeria. This one is a good character. Yes, go ahead.
These ones have now been bought. This one have been given money by the regime to disrupt IPOB.
IPOB, yes.
They have been given money. Look at some of us. I am here. I've refused ever to talk to anybody. I ask you first, if you are from Nigeria, then you tell me, oh, this, I don't want to talk. That's why I'm free to talk. If you swallow somebody's money, you can't be free to talk. I talk freely because I cannot be a party to Buhari's machinations of killing one tribe. I talk free because I cannot be party to Ambazonia, that dictator in Yaoundé.
Paul Biya. And have you heard, Doctor, you were listening when that news from Bamenda there. We don't seem to even have health officials there who can even advise on what is happening. We see the Catholic Church is the one that is coming out and giving the latest statistics in that area in regards to the situation with COVID-19. I was just wondering, where are the health officials? This is the time that leadership, should be seen to be working and to be serving the people there who really need such services right now.
Is there government there? There's no government. The government that buys the hair for $1 million, is it a government? They go to shop for a wife. How can you allow your wife to buy hair for $1 million? Don't you query even in the morals? People are dying of hunger, and you are buying hair for $1 million. There's no government in Cameroon. There's no government in Nigeria. What is in Nigeria is the tall shirt, dress, kanzu. Kanzu with a tall, that's it. There's no government there.
All right. Okay, and Dundi Uma, you're saying Biafra struggle is going higher and higher every day because Biafrans and Nigerians are waking up from slumber of slavery, and Nigeria is a redeemable nerve and never again. And Ugochukwu Onwokeme, you're saying, God bless you, sir. Go ahead. And Rebecca Machuki, thank you so much for watching. And you're saying, Dr. kudos for the good job. Yani, you don't fire for a better Africa. You don't tire for a better Africa. God bless you so much. And who is this? Prosper Amadi, you're saying, God bless you, sir. And Paul Christopher, you're saying, watching from Dubai, Arab Emirates, that's the UAE. You're saying Biafra is the only way out and peace of Africans. And also there is one of our very ardent viewers here, from, I think, South Sudan, and we have some news from South Sudan. Yes, Nyaleo Tak Duop. Nice to see you, and a happy July to you too. We see a lot of Biafrans here. I do not want to hear anything to do with this Olusegun bank boss.
I don't want to hear his name.
They don't recognize it.
I don't want to hear his name because of what he's saying. He has been sent by the government. If they want a debate, I am not a Nigerian. Bring it on. Bring the debate. I will floor them. They are thieves. They are thieves. They go and steal. Buhari is banking money of oil from the southeastern region. He has not built even an airport. Not a new airport in Nigeria. The airport of Lagos is the colonial airport. What the hell?
Well, say they'll buy some radio for the children to homeschool during COVID-19.
It's a disgrace. Some of these African leaders are a disgrace.
Radio for primary school. I don't know how many radios you'll have to buy in Nigeria.
How do you buy a radio when there is no road where the person can go to buy the rubbish? Buhari is zero.
The leadership.
What can he do? What can he do, Buhari? Buhari, what will you do? Boko Haram has defeated you to win. What will you do?
All right.
You can close and threaten those Nigerians. But some of us are also generals like you. We also know how to cock a gun. What will you do, you Buhari? You are threatening Nigerians every day. Eh?
Yes.
What will you do? You are beating children. What has annoyed me about Biafra? The Nigerian army does not want to go and conquer Boko Haram. They have come to the villages of southeastern Nigeria.
Ain't it the biggest hypocrisy?
Yes, they are killing younger boys. They are tying them on cars and Land Rover and driving them around the villages. Fellow East Africans and Africans, listen to me. There is murder going on, and Osuji, a Nigerian, is seated in the ICC. Sile, stupid man of ICC. We were together. Osuji, I was with you. You used to be my flag bearer to keep the flag while I knocked the door of the Nigerian embassy in London when we were fighting to remove Abiola, Chief Mashushu Abiola and Obasanjo and the other man in prison during Abacha days. I was demonstrating together with that man. Have you ever seen him talk about Matanga? Let him try to talk. Let him try.
And Doctor, you've mentioned there, because the Biafrans have been targeted, and we've seen that, and it has been recorded. And we see a lot of images. And yet, a part of Nigeria, Boko Haram is running a mockery of the whole government of Nigeria. But those would be considered highest in security in terms of, the country of Nigeria. But instead, who are they fighting?
And they cannot go and put a case. Osuji should have allowed a case to indict Mr. Buhari to answer charges of crimes against humanity in the ICC. And he has not allowed it because he has been paid money. I am going to start investigating Osuji. I have not finished yet. Now there is another scandal in the ICC. Wow. This one is very good. Miriam, this one is the best scandal. I have intercepted all the documents, what they have been doing. And the Kenya must wake up and open their eyes. Stop this politicking. All these things that Kenya is supplying, that someone is supplying tanks. Stop it. Talk to Matanga. Talk to Matanga, Dr. Ruto. Talk to Matanga. There's something that you don't know. Now I've told you today. I have intercepted something very dangerous. Very dangerous. In fact, I remembered this thing of Osuji. That is why it has clicked now. That you are supplying tanks. You might not see them.
All right, and we see, Doctor, our viewers here are agreeing with you. Mazi Tochi saying Osuji is just there for fancy, my brother. We Biafrans thought we got a brother in him, but he's a disgrace to the Biafra people.
There's no brother fancy there. This brother.
What do you mean?
Osuji.
Mazi.
Let me tell Biafrans. Osuji Matanga. Osuji was a student. I was a student. He was studying law. I was in the same, another university. He was in one of those North London universities, so somewhere there, law. I was in London Guildhall University, fighting for the release. I used to go to Nigerian embassy every Friday. Even if we wanted to ban it. I wanted to ban it in London. I am not a joke. Don't play with me. Because of the arrest with children of Abiola, they know me. The children of the other guy who died, Sarawi.
Ken Sarawiwa. From the Ogoni people there in Nigeria.
No, they were all arrested together. The man who was killed by Abacha. We used to go every Friday to demonstrate at the embassy. With like winter, summer, we were there. Now I am shocked. Have you ever heard of Osuji mentioning my name? It is sour.
All right. And one of the viewers here, Zeda Tinong, you're saying, if you talk of Buhari that is not doing anything, what else will you talk about Paul Biya of Cameroon, who has sold the country for close to 35 years? That man has crippled everything in Cameroon. Excuse me, Paul Biya has been there for what? 37 years, not even 35, over. You're saying close to 35. He's been there for over 37 years now. So you're saying Paul Biya there is worse than Buhari. So, yeah, according to...
Worry.
Yes.
Don't worry, Africans. Don't worry, my people of Biafra. I am soon. From today, I opened up another fight. A fight on these imperial vestiges. There are imperial vestiges that are still remaining here with mercantile capitalism, like a strive Masiyiwa of that Zimbabwe. There are people like this man who says he wants to topple Nnamdi Kanu. Those are the people I'm looking for. I am activating my activism from today in London.
Your activism, that's a good one.
My serious selves in London, I have woken them up, the whole world, and I'm gonna fight.
All right.
To make sure a regime in Nigeria collapses. And we have collapsed the party now. We shall go to collapse Buhari.
I think what is happening in the APC party, I think is a similar fashion that happened in Jubilee Party. Just after elections, the rest of the leadership did not care if President Buhari will be held to account to make sure that he delivers on his promises. They're just trying to ready themselves for 2023. So they did not even catch a break and ensure that they address the issues that affect Nigerians there. They're just jumping into 2023 and they've started early campaigns. So I think it's the same thing that is happening here. And we saw here Jubilee Party was divided. APC Party also is divided under the same grounds, I think.
Medium.
Yes.
Medium.
Yes.
Bring it on. What they are doing is Buhari's wife has banked now by yesterday. The figure had gone to $3.2 billion of money. I have records of, they are not here. Well, I have records. So I don't sleep.
Doctor, so what you're saying is Buhari's wife has replaced Isabella dos Santos as the richest woman in the continent.
Exactly. They are siphoning money.
We need Forbes to confirm that, yes.
Not to Ford. I have got that. I don't sleep.
Yes.
When America wakes up, I start working. We check every day. The money laundering system. That's how we found it. Kajakwa, this man of Nyeri. Every year he was making 1 billion shillings. Where? We are checking on them, man.
Gashagwa. All right.
Gashagwa. Yes, whatever. You know, such a name I don't want to mention in my mouth.
All right. Okay.
I don't mention names of thieves. People like that. You see now, I want to tell my fellow Biafra and my fellow Nigerians, who might be, there are so many Nigerians who want Biafra to go away. So don't segregate the others who like you.
Oh, you mean there are other Nigerians who are supporting
Yes,
the referendum that
you mean
Biafrans have been
the
agitating?
Nigerians are saying, you see, if Buhari says Matanga is wrong, I will display on Miriam clothes and we put all the pictures of killings. You have you seen the way they torture these younger boys in Biafra? How the army is torturing, killing these guys. The army, they put people on a Land Rover. They tie 5 boys. They drive the Land Rover around the villages until these boys' bodies are worn. Surely, surely.
All right. So, Chima John, you're saying, Miriam, please Google and find the meaning of Niger area called Nigeria. It means darkness. Oh, really? Okay, so that's why you want to leave the darkness and go to light, and that will be Biafra land. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So in case you're wondering what has fired Dr. App, is because there is a lawyer in Nigeria there called Olusegun Bangbose, who is the National Coordinator Concerned Advocates for Good Governance, CAGG, and he's come out to saying that the agitation for the sovereign should be released because they did not see anything that he did wrong that would still keep him in jail, but the government still have him in jail. Remember the journalist that had come from abroad and had worn a t-shirt written Biafra is, we are all Biafrans or something like that. I can't remember his name. If you can remember his name, please remind me. But he's still in jail. So perhaps he should start by getting this journalist out and this activist from jail there, if at all he means business and he wants to help Biafrans. And what Doctor, perhaps because you're saying the government, and a lot of Biafrans here are saying the government could be using such individuals to overturn the gains that have been made by an organization like IPOB, because he's speaking and he's making these comments which are not quite apart from what Nnamdi Kanu was saying, that he had to flee from Nigeria. But this person is saying these things inside of Nigeria, and I have not read anywhere where the authorities are after his life. So it could be, that he's working on behalf of somebody, I don't know. But
my dear sister, I have been on this earth. I know how governments work. I've told you how they did it to us in Uganda. When they see you progressing very well, you're about to reach the United Nations Security Council, the government now gets someone to pretend that he's working with you. Then that's what Museveni has done to us. Museveni did that to weaken us. He weakened the whole executive. All rebel groups were weakened. They remained people collecting money, people being bought for a few dollars. Now I am thinking why Museveni refused to pay my money. It's because he doesn't like me. Because I'm the only one who resisted being bought. And I used to tell my friends as they are going, I said, last, leave your will with your wife. They are not here. Some of them died with accidents. Unexplained accident. You don't know. They are not here. Everybody who left me. The last week, they insulted us in London. We were like, they told us in London we were stupid. Stupid, this one. I was hounded down. Let me tell you. Up to my businesses. Miriam, I'm telling you, I've never told you this. My bank account frozen. Yeah. Someone alleging things, that man there. They froze my account. They came to my nightclub. They said there were bombs in my club. I had 300 people dancing on the floor. And the British police brought dogs. They put a headline the following morning in Kampala. Matanga's nightclub raided with bombs. You think I've not suffered?
So it could be the same thing that is happening in Nigeria.
That's the tactic these guys are using.
Okay.
They have now brought that lawyer. How can you talk like that in Nigeria without Buhari coming for you?
That's what I was wondering, because those are the same sentiments that Nnamdi Kanu had put forth that got him into a lot of trouble. He had to flee Nigeria. This person is saying the similar things, but he's still in Nigeria, and I've not read anywhere where the police is after him, so who knows? All right, okay. So, Doctor, there's something else also I think we need to talk about.
Have you ever carried your bed sheets?
To where?
Your own bed sheets when you are going to your own country. And your own water. Hey, I did it. The UN carried new bed sheets. The soldiers were the ones changing the bed sheets. When I was doing the peace process in Kampala, they sent me a bottle of brandy. Miriam, I don't want to tell you some things. I cry tears. And it was brought by an American, a Mzungu diplomat, for me to drink. I did not drink it. She is a diplomat, an American secretary, that time. And here I am, I'm in Kampala. I've suffered. When I went, I have kept that bottle up to today. You can't give it to somebody. When I did this, they had already injected. Stupid man would have come from a peace process after meeting. This is an American lady. I know her. I don't want to assume her here. You wanted me dead, but I'm still alive. So when I say Jendai Frazier, when I see Timothy, then I see that woman. What was I doing wrong? I was doing a peace process, but I was going to die. God told me, don't open the thing. Don't. I looked at it like that. It passed. And that's God. So this man is doing this thing to disrupt Nnamdi Kanu. He wants, these are the agents sent to destroy. They want to kill him now. They want to say, oh, dismantle the IPOB. It is not doing a good job. Why? Where were you when it was starting? Thank you very much. I saw you talk about Ethiopia. Bring it on.
Yes, Ethiopia and also Libya. Now we see France is blaming Turkey of, smuggling arms into Libya. There, I don't know what France has been doing.
What has France been doing?
That is my question exactly.
No. France is doing it. Turkey is doing what France has been doing. France has been also smuggling arms to General Khalifa Haftar through Egypt. France has been giving General Khalifa Haftar ship catastrophe in Libya. Where is the nuclear weapon they were looking for? Now, doesn't this nuclear weapon explode? Why is it not exploding?
right.
We Africans, let me tell you, you have got me in a nice mood to talk today. We Africans are very stupid people.
All of us? Or some
Yes,
of us?
including myself.
Okay.
We serve Bazungu with special respect. An African like a Dangote, a Nigerian man called Dangote, can sustain Africa with his money. Dangote, instead of opening a television station to advertise his goods, he gives CNN to advertise his goods, which are bought by we black people, not Americans.
Which have never understood the logic behind the advertisements of Dangote on CNN, because I'm thinking, who is buying the cement? Is it not the Africans and Nigerians? Or
you show me which state,
I've never understood the logic.
America.
Maybe he's just had too much money to spend around.
Madam, show me which state in America buys Dangote's cement.
I don't know. I've always tried to understand every time they run these advertisements. Even is it the Glow? I don't know I don't know who owns that. I don't understand. Maybe Nigerians watch a lot of CNN, so that will reach them. I don't know. But I've always tried to understand the logic behind those advertisements, including the cement by Dangote there. So I have no idea. But Doctor, something else that we need to talk about. I see it's just a few minutes past 4 there. President Salva Kiir, of course, has directed the new governors to immediately move to their respective states and begin disseminating the revitalized peace deal. 7 governors and 3 chief administrators were sworn in before Kiir and his 5 vice presidents in Juba on Wednesday. And now, among the advice, the advice that President Kiir gave these new governors, he said that he cautioned them against excluding the population in the decision-making process. I don't know, because as far as we've been following this story of South Sudan, the reason as to why there had been a stalemate and a back and forth is because of lack of consultation among the parties there and the lack of respect and regard for even the revitalized peace deal. So he wants these new governors that have been appointed to go there and ensure that they disseminate the revitalized peace deal, but on top of that, to make sure that the population is included. President Salva Kiir is not known to do that. So will they not just learn from him and just do what he's been doing there?
Well, for more than 2 years now, we have said the peace process in Sudan
It's faulty.
Would have started the way they are starting now.
Right now.
Where they are going now.
Yes.
Should have been bottom to up, not up to bottom.
Mm-hmm. So you think this will actually work?
Yeah.
Okay.
We support. On now holding the fragile system. Yeah. I will support. And I want the ambassador, the South Sudan ambassador in Kenya, to talk to me. Let's meet and talk quietly. I'll tell you, we must encourage South Sudan. We must encourage the world to pay South Sudan money. They must be given money to sustain the peace process. I am on that side. I want it to work. Because our people have suffered enough. That's it. So I am this time moderate because I whipped Riak to the table quietly.
So that is a good step towards realizing the revitalized peace agreement. All right. Okay. I hope
People
that works. I just found it ironical that President Salva Kiir will advise these governors to do something that he's not been able to do. that he's been flaunting all the time. So I don't know if they will follow what he's been doing or they will go ahead and follow the advice he's giving. But I think should they follow that, then that will set South Sudan to the right path of finding lasting peace. And in Burundi, Burundi President Evariste Ndayishimiye has awarded a Hero's Medal to the eldest son of former President Pierre Nkurunziza there. He is a lieutenant. His name is Kellen Nkurunziza, and he was awarded the National Medal by his father's successor during the Wednesday's Independence Day celebrations. Do you think it's on merit, or President Evariste Ndayishimiye is just, feels like perhaps President Nkurunziza owes him?
Yes. Bring up the younger man. There's nothing wrong with that. Even give him a quicker rank.
The way his father did.
Yeah. The way Museveni
being
you have forgotten across the bridge.
Yeah, I don't even know. Look, I don't even know to talk about
His Excellency across the bridge in your favor.
Listen, even the wife is a minister. I don't want to talk about Uganda today.
But the wife does a very good job.
In education.
Yeah.
Well, my child's wife is also Minister of Defense.
No. His Excellency, Madam, the First Lady of Uganda, did a great job in Karamoja.
Okay.
Yes. I give credit where it is.
Did she lead the peace process in Karamoja?
She was Karamoja.
In finding
Mama Janet, thank you very much.
Good.
There was no corruption. She did a great job. She's not like a Paul Obia's wife who buys a hair for $1 million. For her, she did a great job. Karamoja is now productive. Long live Mama Janet Museveni. Me, I give a credit where it is. Don't blanket. You talked about blanket condom. We can't blanket the condom.
No, you wanted blanket amnesty and immunity, and I said no, we can't give that to our African
leaders.
They need
so on this one, I agree with.
Yes.
Even in the Ministry of Education, there is no corruption there. There are inadequacies.
What is that?
Things are not working well.
Inadequacy. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
There are several of them. Mingi. But not corruption. You know, all the ministries in Uganda are full of potholes of insanity.
A lot of insanity, I might add.
Yes. Of googling money, mafia. There's mafia there.
A lot.
The Uganda mafia is more deadly than the one here. Even the president, you see the mafia went and sold the president's land.
The nerve.
President Museveni land, which is his, he bought, they sold it. The man had also to run it to cry. That, my land has been sold.
So these land grabbers are all over the place.
Some men came and put houses, good houses on his land.
He must have so much land that he can't even, know
that is another subject. You don't go there.
Let's leave that. That's why I told you, let's just leave Uganda alone. I will revisit tomorrow. But, Doctor, this dispute between Ethiopia, Egypt and Sudan does not seem to be going anywhere soon, and the dispute between Egypt, Ethiopia and Sudan over Addis Ababa's construction of the dam on the Blue Nile has reached a new level. The issue is now on the table at the United Nations Security Council at the request of Egypt, supported by United States. It's very interesting because earlier in the year, Doctor, and I remember, sometimes back last year, and we were having this conversation, and well, Egyptian president was the chairperson of African Union, and we were just asking, why would he find it appropriate as an AU chairperson to take a matter involving two African countries to the United States to mediate? And now we see United States is backing Egypt on this matter, and Ethiopia did not agree to those talks that were being mediated by United States. So Egypt has been trying to bully its way into, now it has bullied its way into the United Nations Security Council, and they're saying Ethiopia should not go ahead and fill this Grand Renaissance Dam, and this has costed Ethiopia about $4.6 billion in terms of investment. Do they really think that Ethiopia will not fill this dam?
And I tell you one thing, I like this program. And you see, when I come in, it will go out. Thank you, Miriam. We keep it every afternoon like this. Look at this. Can you explain to me why there are riots in Addis Ababa?
Let's talk about that together.
Did I tell you that the Prime Minister Abe will not finish his term of office? Why did the other Prime Minister resign? I am a friend of the ruling elite of Zenawi product because I worked with Zenawi in London, except that thief called Dr. Tedros. I can't finish without talking about it. Zenawi, long live wherever you are. He put a structure where Ethiopia, if he had been around now, Ethiopia would be a giant, united in this continent. The death of Zenawi robbed us a unifying factor that put people together. Zenawi was right to avoid Mr. Efaki shaking hands. And I told you, Dr. Abe has made a mistake to shake the hands of the man in Eritrea who doesn't know that his people are the ones dying in the Mediterranean Sea. The huge number of people sinking in the Mediterranean Sea come from Eritrea. But the president is not battered. He's drinking coffee in smaller cups, sitting down. I am telling you, planning which other country he's gonna finish. People did not listen to me. Now, the chicken has come home to do what?
To roast. The chicken are coming all over the place to roast, all over Africa, all over the world to what is happening. And now in Ethiopia, the world is just under a lot of agitation.
You know why Maraga, Chief Justice Maraga in Kenya is saying he has a business to finish?
Oh yes, he said until November.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Kenyans listening. Listen to me. I have just intercepted a document. Again, I will shock you tomorrow. Kumbe, this man is really determined to dismantle this government of Jubilee Party. He has never given up. He has never forgiven us. So the earlier, those who are listening, the earlier this guy gets out, the better. Otherwise, tuko na shida. Na kuambia sasa. He says he has a very important duty to finish.
Yeah, he just
now
launched
a document that indicates the timetable of George Soros, how he has planned to plunge Uganda, to plunge Kenya into chaos. This afternoon, I'm determined the man. I started telling you from Zimbabwe in the morning, and I'm bringing more. Kumbe, they want to do that. You people in Kenya, watch out. Maraga wants to be a president of this country. He's not only telling us. There is something missing. In fact, if you look at Maraga standing speaking, there is something missing. And I'm going to do some research. What is this missing? God give me some idea. You know, there's something missing in Maraga. That is so upset when it reaches the name of Uhuru Kenyatta. So upset. He almost threw the papers. You saw yesterday when he was addressing. He had addressed a very nice function. When it reached, when he was reading like this, and then he said, you think he wanted to throw the papers. Why is he? Kumbe.
I think it has become a bit personal for the Chief Justice and the President. Yeah.
It's not personal.
When you see Maraga addressing, the other time he was addressing the person of President Uhuru Kenyatta personally. So
can I say the money?
The other time. Mm-hmm.
Money can make people personal.
Well, money makes everything go round, I guess.
No, if you have a man like Maina Kiai looking for money to fund a judiciary to make a coup, what do you think? George Soros from 2007 has never forgiven Kenya. And he wanted Kibaki down. Kibaki escaped. Then he came for these two younger men. Matsanga stood in the middle. Now they have done something again, which is going to bring chaos. And I told you, Miriam, let Dr. Ruto talk to me. If he's clever, I've seen something that he hasn't seen yet.
Doctor, you can reach out to your fellow doctor.
No. Reach out what? Me? No.
I know you can find him within seconds.
I have got something. That's why today I woke up on the right hand. You know, I woke up nicely. Can't you see me speaking nicely? What I told the Kenyans is here, is coming. I told you. People did not, they thought I'm a madman. The ambassadors there in Hague are just drinking beer. They have forgotten what is going on. This Ugandan madman has picked something. Jesus Christ. Talk to me.
Doctor, in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, what? I will not tell you.
No, as we conclude, I know that you're not going to say, but I will ask for it after, outside of the camera. In a nutshell, of all the stories we've talked about, starting from Biafra, Ambazonia, South Sudan, and I see Emmanuel Malwal, nice to see you, and John Clark as well. You're saying we have dangerous mafias in South Sudan too, who sold oil and signed contracts alone without the president's knowledge. This mafia business is another industry on its own. But Doctor, just of all the stories that we talked about this afternoon, start with Biafra as we conclude.
Thank you very much. Take away. You want a takeaway?
All right.
Let me do a takeaway from Miriam. Conflicts exist on this continent. One of the most raging conflicts on the continent of Africa is the question of Biafra. From 1965 or before that, the Biafrans had their own institutions. Before the colonial master arrived, they have agitated themselves, they have told the world They want fair treatment in a nation called Nigeria. Successive regimes have always trampled upon the rights of the people of Biafra, destroyed them, killed their younger men, assassinated many, deported many, excluded many, forceful deportation out of your own country. Many Nigerians, Biafrans have sought asylum in these big countries, America, Europe, and elsewhere. Time has come for the new generation in 2020, 2021, 2022, for people to sit down to find an everlasting solution to the conflict that is around that region. President Buhari promised us that he will finish in 100 days, the first term of office. Boko Haram will be dead. Today is finishing his second term. Boko Haram is even more vibrant than his own shoes. We have landed in very serious murky waters that the people of Nigeria don't know which direction they are going. The people of Nigeria, a big country with a big population, an economic hub of West Africa and Africa, with the biggest reserves of oil, still lingers in poverty. The poverty and the rich gaps in Nigeria are wider than the distance between, Mars and Earth. What can we do for our countries in Africa? How do we unite? For us, our role is to speak, to defend the voiceless, to chart our way forward, to find a solution. The only way solution can be got on the Biafran issues, the referendum, which Buhari and the government present have refused. But sincerely speaking, Nigeria needs rearrangement. If that rearrangement does not come today, tomorrow, or the other day, one day it is going to explode. People can be pushed, but they cannot be pushed beyond what Biafrans have been pushed. The suffering is too much. Pictures that I cannot show on this television. I call upon President Uhuru Kenyatta as a member of the United Nations Security Council to see that some of these problems should be resolved and a resolution is passed of sitting down to understand the difficulties of the nations, especially in Nigeria, in Cameroon, because the problem of Biafra is also similar to the problem of Ambazonia. The English-speaking people have no say in Cameroon. They are taken as second-class citizens. Biafrans are also taken as second-class citizens in a country called Nigeria. Their problems are compounded with a dictator who has lost direction, who doesn't know where the wind is blowing from, whether east of Sahara or west of Sahara. He's going north when the wind is going south. Therefore, it's blown, one leg going up, one leg going down. Look at the picture of Buhari standing 6.1 feet, being blown apart. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much there, Dr. David Matanga, and thank you to our viewers. Thank you so much for your comments. So much, so many of them. I can't go through them, all of them right now, but I've read a few, and thank you so much. And I hope we can meet here tomorrow at same time so that we can continue talking about Africa and some of the things that require attention, and we need to bring to attention to the world the things that are happening in this continent. And as a Punchline Africa Television, our core mandate is to advance our own African narrative. My name is Miriam Mugutu, and a very good evening to you, about 4:30 p.m. here in Nairobi.
Thank you.
I want to begin by first and foremost thanking the African Union and all the African nations for their support and their belief in Kenya being able to advocate the African cause, the cause of Pan-Africanism, the cause of peace, the cause of global solidarity, the call to multilateralism. Kenya's story is one that believes and trusts that together we are stronger. One that believes that through democracy, through respect for human life, and through unity, more can be achieved than individually. We thank the African continent for supporting us in our bid. And we thank all our friends across the world who have joined us and supported us. Today is a day for me personally, on my own behalf and on behalf of the government and the people of Kenya, to assure you that a vote for Kenya is a vote for peace. A vote for Kenya is a vote for global solidarity. A vote for Kenya is a vote for multilateralism. A vote for Kenya is that even the smallest voice shall be heard as the largest and most powerful voice. Let's work together. Let's build global harmony. Let's move forward in our march for peace. Let's move forward in our march for the sustainable use of the resources that our continent, our globe, is endowed with. And let's move forward and ensure that no one is left behind.